All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Jason Childers. I'm sure most of you know who I am and we've met in person. What I want to do today is just to go over the information that we need and the process for the PSAP survey. And I want to put out there, first of all, we don't ask for this information just to make you do work. This is information that we use in-house in order to generate reports that we need. And very importantly, we are required every year to submit a report to the FCC. Most of the information that you are giving us is rolled up into one report for many of the answers on that FCC report. Uh, the PSAP survey is tailored in order for us to be able to get the information that we need. And so, thanks to you, we do meet that obligation every year. And this survey makes it very easy for us to answer the questions that are asked and we're expected to answer. So that's really why we do this, but we also do it so that we are aware of what's going on with each of your surveys and know or with each of your PSAP so that we can be there to help you when you do need something. Or if there's a question about your PSAP, we're able to answer that. So as I go along, I know there's a lot of information and feel free to ask a question if one comes up, but we can also save them to the end. If there's something that you want to touch base with me offline after the meeting, that is perfectly fine as well. Just let me know. We try to make the survey as simple as possible. And there are some questions on here that may be a bit more difficult for you to answer. So maybe there's some questions that you need to go to your IT professionals that do your computer setups for you. They may be able to help you answer certain parts of this. And of course, your finance officers are going to be helpful as well when it comes to the finance report for this. And that's where I'm going to start today is with the finance report. We're just going to very briefly go over this part of it. So what you'll see on the screen, this is the finance report that we ask you to submit to us every year. So there's a revenue and expenditure portion, and there's a budget portion. Uh, I sent out a revised version of this shortly after the original. So if you did not receive that, let me know and I can send it out. But the reason I did send that out is because there was some dates that were wrong on that and they were corrected. So the revenue and expenditure portion of this is what happened for the period of July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025. So the fiscal year that just ended. Your budget is for the future. So it's going to be July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. It's what you project your budget to be during that period. So what we're asking, and any finance officer is going to be able to most likely whip this out pretty quickly. We're asking for your revenues, so the money that's coming in, and your expenditures, so the money that you're spending. So basically, we want to know your sources of revenue and all of your costs in your PSAP. This is just for your PSAP. So we can look at the revenue portion. This is the balance of all 911 funds at the beginning of the reporting period. So this is at the beginning. It includes any funds that were carried forward at the end of the fiscal year as well. So that's what this is. The second is the total CMRS funds, and that's going to include all CMRS payments, excluding grants. So do not include your grants in this portion. This is all your CMRS payments, your volume payments, and your pro rata payments that you receive every quarter. The third line is your local 911 revenues. So do you all have any local fees that you collect for 911? That's going to go in this line. The fourth one, total amount of county or city funds. So what is allocated from your county or city uh, to your PSAP? Five, this is where you're going to put your grant funds. So any 911 service grant money that you've received is going to go on this line. Number six is total amount of other grant funds. So that's grants that you receive from other sources. So is that a Homeland Security grant? Is it an emergency management grant or any other source? You would put that there. Number six is what I just did. So never mind that. Number seven, this is your interest that you received during the current fiscal year. So your finance officer is going to easily be able to pull that. Eight, your total funds, total amount of other funds received in the fiscal year. So uh, that could be any source of revenue. It's going to be different for all of you. If you have a source of money coming into your PSAP, it's going to go here. And then, of course, you have your total. And I do want to throw out there for your budget, these lines are exactly the same. They're a mirror image. It's just a projection of what you're going to be spending. So your expenditures, it's pretty simple, cut and dry here. Like I said, a lot of you will have your finance officers filling this out. If the PSAP director is filling this out and you have any questions about this, your finance officer is your source of information for this. So they should be able to help you with any of this. So your expenditures, it's going to be salaries, mapping, addressing salaries. We want a breakdown of all of this. Other salaries. So that could be IT if you have someone working for that. Then we even get into the weeds as far as what's going on with your personnel. So retirement contribution, health insurance, fringe benefits. And like I said, we do ask all of this for a reason because most of this is rolled up into the FCC report. Other expenses that we're asking about is capital improvements. What have you done for your property? What's your lease or rent? Your utilities. So your phone services, we know you all have those, your 911 trunk lines. And the list goes on and on. So maintenance, furniture, office supplies, other costs. We have a section for training that includes conferences and travel related to training. Then equipment and software. So computers, any upgrades you're doing to your 911 systems, such as your CADs, your GIS mapping. What kinds of software licenses do you have that you're paying for? All of that is included here. Do you have any vehicle expenses? I know some of you will, some of you won't. Every PSAP is different, so whatever you have, put here. Oh, then professional services. That's your legal, that's your audit, mapping, cybersecurity. So all of these expenses we want outlined here. There's two things I want to point out about this. So put your dollar amounts in the box. Do not put anything but numbers in these boxes. We get a lot of these reports in where people will type in NA in the box. So what we do with this report that you send us, we take your individual report and roll it into one big report for all of the PSAPs. So what we're doing is using formulas to pull that in. And if you use letters in these boxes, it throws the formulas off. And I have to go on a wild goose chase trying to find out what is wrong, why I'm getting an error on the formulas on these. So only put numbers in these boxes. It's okay to leave it blank and it's okay to put a 0, but no letters. Just remember that. So your other tab is the budget tab. You're going to answer the same questions that you just did on the revenue expenditure tab, except this is a projection for the fiscal year that just started, July 1st, 2025, and it's going to go through June 30th, 2026. So what has been projected and budgeted for this fiscal year? Once you get this completed, send this file to me, then I'll take care of the rest. I do need this file in the original Excel format. Occasionally, I will get these back as saved in PDF. I understand why people want to send it as a PDF. That way, numbers can't be changed, information can't be changed. But if I receive this as a PDF, I can't use it to roll into one master Excel sheet. So I can't pull it in with the others. So if you send this to me in a PDF format, I'm going to email you back and nicely ask that you send it to me in Excel format. So that's enough of the numbers. We're going to move away from that and we're going to go to the actual PSAP survey information. You all received an email from me on July 1st with 2 survey links. One's for general and equipment, and one is call counting and contingency. So we're almost 1 month in. So the due date is September 1st. August 1st is coming up. That's halfway point for getting this information in. This is the data that we've gotten so far. So for call counting and contingencies, I've received 12 responses. So we've got a whole lot more to go, and I'm not worried about it because I know that the second half of the reporting period coming up to September 1st, I'm going to get most of these back. So 12 for call counting and contingency. For general and equipment, I've received 19. So I'm just going to put it out there. You've got just a little over a month to get this in if you have not already. So here's the important part of getting it here on September 1st. If you don't have it here by September 1st, then I'm going to have to start emailing you, emailing your finance officer, whatever part of the survey we haven't received. And then the big trouble comes when the next quarterly payment is due for your volume payment or your pro rata payment. If we haven't received these, we will hold the money until we do receive them, because this is a requirement, and we're not trying to be hard about it or anything. It's just a requirement of you, and it's something that we need to have in order to complete information that we have to report up to the feds. So make sure you get it here so that we don't have to come chasing you down, and so that, more importantly, we don't hold the money that you very much need for your PSAP. So what I'm going to do now is just very simply go through both of these PSAP survey links. We're going to go through the questions. I'll try and do it as quickly as possible. And like I said, there may be some of these that you don't know the answer to. You may have to do a little digging or research, and that's okay. You may even have to ask another person, and that's definitely okay too. So the first one we're going to do is general and equipment. All right, here we go. So this is your general and equipment. When you click on the link, this is the first page that you're going to see. What I do want to remind you about is that this does not save progress. Once you start doing this, you need to complete it. So you need to be prepared to go all the way through. If you were to close it out, whatever you have entered so far will disappear. So basically, general and equipment. This is going to touch on what is your operational authority. It's going to touch on any local landline fees that you all charge. What are the manufacturers of the equipment that you use? and also any IT information as well. So this is the longer of the two survey links. So we'll start with this one and get it over with. And I'm going to use generic answers for this. I'm just doing this to show you how to complete this. And it really is pretty simple. We try to keep it as simple as possible. So enter your email address, and then you're going to pick your PSAP name. I'm going to pick Adair County because they're at the top of the list. So that makes that pretty easy. We need to know your PSAP location. So all you need to do is type in your address. I'm putting in Miro Street in Frankfurt because that's where our office is. So you'll see that we get a nice little overhead view of that. So this is the Transportation Cabinet Building, where the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security is. We're on the first floor of this building, and the 911 Services Board. Once you do that, I think you'll know the answers to most of these pretty easily. So what authority does your PSAP operate? Is it a city government, county government, city, county, fiscal court? You've got a lot of options here. I'm just going to go ahead and pick a fiscal court. And then what is the name of the organization, your authority name? So it might be Adair County Fiscal Court. It could be Adair County 911. Your PSAP name could be many things. Do you have a PSAP board? Do you have a governing authority? So yes, I do. I have an advisory board. I have an NCIC board. What do you have? So I'm going to go ahead and just randomly select governing authority. Do you dispatch from more than one jurisdiction? Yes or no? Do you have a written interlocal agreement? Do you provide direct dispatch for law enforcement? You may or you may not. All PSAPs are different. So if you select no, that's the end of this one. If you select yes, you're going to see an additional question pop up, and it's going to be, what kind of call processing protocol service do you use for law enforcement dispatching? So you're going to have several options here. These are the most common ones. If you do not fit into one of these and it's something else, select other, and you get the option to type in what that is. I want to go ahead and select APCO. So how many telecommunicators are certified as emergency police dispatchers? Maybe it's all of them, maybe it's some, maybe it's none. We're just going to go with some. Do you provide direct dispatch for fire services? Yes or no? So the answers that we did up here, you got your additional drop down. Same thing's going to happen for fire services here if you select yes. Same thing for EMS. Do you provide direct dispatch for EMS? Yes. Then you get extra questions. Or no. Is your CPE, your call processing equipment, is that IP enabled? Yes or no? And if you're not sure, this is where your IT people can come in handy. General information still here. Do your 911 call takers answer administrative lines? Yes or no? I think quite a few of you do. I know that all will not. If you do answer non-administrative lines, what are they? So you would just put in what those lines are here. You will have to type something there if you put yes, or it'll come up as an error. Does your PSAP provide emergency notifications? Yes or no? Let us know what those emergency notifications are. Is it a missing person? It could be anything. So once again, you have to answer that question. Does your PSAP provide traffic monitoring? Yes or no? Let us know what it is if you do. What about school monitoring? There's now a lot of different options for school monitoring. Does the schools in your school district have some sort of alert system? And is it connected to your PSAP? If that's the case, then let us know what kind of school monitoring system it is that you're using. So weather monitoring, do you provide that? So maybe it's the National Weather Service of some sort for your emergency responders. Maybe it's something else. What about emergency profiles? So that relates to the Smart 911, uh, where your locals could set up a profile through Smart 911 to alert you of medical conditions, allergies, some other special circumstance that may be part of their home. So do you all provide that as a service? Yes or no? If it is, let us know if it's Smart 911 or something else. You provide text to 911. What about text from 911? Some of you will, some don't. I know that the numbers are definitely growing on these. Who is your texting vendor? We need to know all of this information. I know it seems like a lot, but we do ask these for a reason. What about emergency medical dispatch? Do you provide that? Who's your vendor? What do you use in order to do that? I'll go ahead and select APCO for that. Do you handle non-911 emergency calls? Some will, some won't. What type of non-emergency calls are they? Are you answering some sort of administrative line for your city or county government? Is it something else? Um, what about NCIC? Do you have that on site? And is there any other services? Is there something that we haven't asked that you do provide that we should know about? If you select yes, you get the opportunity to answer that right below. Okay, this section is pretty easy. So how many full-time telecommunicators do you have? What about part-time? Then we want to know about their training, their certifications. So are they DOC? How many are DOCJT certified? I'm just putting random numbers in here in order to complete the survey. Because if I don't fill these in, when I try to go to the next page, it's going to give me an error and make me fill it in. So it will do the same thing to you as well. Total number of number professional certified staff. How many do you have? Just a simple answer here. How many consoles can accept 911 calls at your center? I think most of you will know most of these answers right off the top of your head, so you should be able to breeze straight through this. How many are staffed 24/7? So then we want to know salary information. This is information that we will roll into that federal report just to do an average on this. So we want to know for your full-time telecommunicators, and we also want to know your director salary as well. So what entity approves the spending of your CMRS funds? So your CMRS funds are your volume payment money and your pro rata money that you receive every quarter. Who approves this? Is it a fiscal court or a city government? Let us know what entity approves that. Then we want to know where that money goes. So your quarterly payments, your volume payment, and your pro rata payment, are they going directly into a fiscal court account? Is there an account that is dedicated solely for this money? Or is it going to a board, city, or county? So just let us know. And then this is where you're going to let us know if it's a dedicated account or not. Is it dedicated just for PSAP funds? or a non-dedicated account? Is it going into a general fund? The next question relates to grant funds, and this is going to be all grant sources. So where did you get, what types of grants did you receive during FY 2024? So you may have gotten a 911 grant from us. So how much was it and what was it for? You may have gotten a Homeland Security grant. How much was it and what for? And on and on and on. If you got something from emergency management or from any other grant source listed here so that we know what you have received for that period. Okay, so this next section is about PSAP fees. So this could be any number types of fees. So it could be a fee that is attached to a utility bill or property tax. There's a whole lot of different ways that cities and counties do collect money for this. Um, some don't at all, but we always do receive a lot of questions about this. Counties or cities that currently do not collect these types of fees often will ask us what types are out there and what amounts so that they could potentially approve one of these for their area in order to enhance 911 services in their county. So we do have this information available that we can give them in order for them to see what is going on across the Commonwealth. So this is one where you may need help from your finance officer or someone else in your city or county government or your board. So does your county collect a fee in order to help fund your PSAP? So yes or no. If you click no, you're done. If you click yes, then you're going to get more questions to answer because we want to know. So if you do, if you do collect something for your county, then you're going to give us the contact name for the individual that is responsible for this. And then the county, then what kind of fee is it? County landline? Is it a county property fee? What about an energy or water fee? Let us know about any of these. If it's a landline fee, you're going to get the drop down and select yes or no, or this fee is not collected. Same thing for property, energy, and water. I'm going to go back up here and just click no on that. Then you're going to go through a very similar section, and this is for fees collected by your city. This is not your county. This would be a city within your county. Do they collect fees related to this? So yes or no. If you click no, then you don't have anything else to answer. If you click yes, you're going to you did for the county. Do they collect a landline fee? Is there a city property fee, energy, water? Is there something else? Is there an other 911 fee information that we haven't asked about? Then let us know what that is so that we can include this in the information that we. All right, so now we're going a little more into the technology side. And just so you know, this is page 8 of 10 on this one. And like I told you, this is the longer of the two surveys. So once you get this one done, the other one's a breeze. So your 911 controller, what is the manufacturer for your controller? So we give you a lot of the biggies that most of you will fall under. So, Emergitech, Intrado, Motorola, we've got a whole lot, Solacom, Zetron. So just select the one that you have. Then we're going to want to know what version of this piece of equipment do you have? So this is going to be different for every one of you, and you may have to do a little research to figure it out, but you should have the information available. Is this controller next gen ready? So let us know if it's next gen ready or not. When was the controller updated last? Is it new? Did you get it in 2025 or 2024? Or is it getting old? Have you had it for 10 or more years? Just let us know the year that you updated this last. Is it part of a host remote solution? So we know there's several of you out there that are part of this. Let us know what if you are part of a host remote solution, who the provider is. So is it ATT, Viper, Vesta? Maybe you're part of the Central Kentucky network. And then here are the others that would be options in Kentucky. What is your current software version for the controller? Just let us know. Then we're going to ask the same information pretty much for your CAD and also your recorder, and also for your time synchronization system. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw some answers in. So for your CAD, we'll select caliber. And the reason I'm going through, like I said before, and going ahead and putting something in every box is because if I don't, it won't let me progress to the next page. So the recorder, same thing. And your time synchronization system. And we're almost done with this one. So the last little bit of information that we're going to need for this is your telephone providers. How many providers does your PSAP have? So I'm just going to put 4. List your wireline providers. So is it AT&T? You may have some local phone networks. We have a couple examples listed here: East Kentucky Network or Brandenburg Telephone. There's a lot of these that it could be, so just let us know. How many competitive local exchange providers does your PSAP have? So in addition to your local providers, what are some competitive ones that have come into your area? So AT&T or Windstream would be 2 good examples. And we're done with this one. So that's all you have to answer for the general and equipment, but you do have to complete this acknowledgement page. So you're going to read the information here about the information that you're submitting. If you understand and agree, you're going to select yes. And then you need to take your mouse and do a beautiful signature, just like this. Looks just like my name, doesn't it? And make sure that you click submit when you're finished. And as soon as this is done, you'll get this screen right here. If you get this screen, we have received your information. So thank you. Your response was submitted successfully. So if you see that, you're good to go. Your general and equipment is complete. If you need to take a screenshot of that, feel free and save it so that you have some documentation, but you'll also get a notification as well. Next, we're going to move over to the next link, which is call counting and contingency. This one is a little shorter. It starts out just as the other one. It's going to give you some simple instructions on the first page. We're going to ask a lot of address information and location information on this one. All right, so my name is Jason Childers, Adair County, Jason at ky.gov. So this is one where we also gather good contact information as well. Once again, we want that location. We're going to get the nifty little zoom in again. So what is your directors, your PSAP directors, tell their cell phone number? We don't want their office number, we want their mobile number. Because we want to be able to contact them in the case of an emergency. All right, so we're going to want to know how many calls that you all received during this calendar year. So here we go. So we're talking July 1 to June 30. How are calls counted in your PSAP? A 911 controller, a host provider. Do you do a manual count? Perhaps you do. Do you have a third party reporting? So let us know. How many wireline calls did you receive? We know this number is getting smaller and the wireless is getting larger. Every year we keep seeing the gap grow. So wireline. Let us know how many wireless calls you received. What about VoIP? How many have you received on that? And the list goes on and on. A multi-line telephone system. How many calls did you receive? All right. We also want to know about your administrative lines. How many incoming calls did you have on your administrative lines? What about outgoing? We want to know that as well. Next up, we want to know about your text to 911. How many did you get text to 911? And then what about text from 911? We want to know both of those. And like I said, I'm just putting in arbitrary numbers here in order to be able to just progress through this. All right, now we want the TTY and TDD. So this is a telecommunications device for the deaf or a teletypewriter. Can you accept calls from, how many consoles can accept calls from these? So you may have one, you may have zero, you may have five. Just let us know. What about telematic calls? So these are the calls from people's cars. So if they have an accident and OnStar sends out a call, how many can you accept these first of all, and then how many did you accept? So for that whole year, how many CAD events did you have? Probably be a lot, and that number is going to vary. And then this bottom box, comments about call counting. Is there something that you need to tell us, maybe some nuance about some of your answers that could put something in perspective? If it seems like if your answer seems off, or if you feel like you need to give us more explanation, this is your opportunity right here. All right, contingency plans. This is your backups. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. And we are actually getting close to the end of this survey. So we're on page 4. There's only 6. So we're getting very close. Your primary trunk type, the IP is a CAMA. I'll go ahead and just select IP. How many 911 trunks do you have? There could be a whole lot right here. Something that we do recommend, if it's unlimited, put 1,000,000. If you don't know, just go ahead and put 0. But we think it probably is going to be a lot for many of you. What about the trunk lines for wireless? Same thing. Administrative trunks, we want the same answer. Are you currently receiving 911 calls via legacy, E911 trunks, or IP? So is it a legacy? Yes. Is it IP? Yes. Is it both? Neither? You may not know. Just click unsure. If that's your answer, that's why we put the option there. So you may also want to give us some information to better describe your situation. This is your opportunity here under the additional trunking information. All right, your selective router. Where is it located? Just let us know. What about your default routing site? What is the name of that site? So it may be your PSAP name. Um, it's just wherever it actually is. So just let us know. Some examples that we gave are the desk phones at the PSAP. So it would be desk phones at Adair County 911 or KSP Post 14. It just simply let us know what it is. What is the address for that location? All right. Do you have an alternate routing site description? You may not. I know there's several that do not. Or is it located within the primary routing site? Or is it another certified PSAP? If you select any of these except for no alternate routing, you're going to let us know where that is. So if you were to select other certified PSAP as your alternate routing site, what is the PSAP? So we'll go ahead and select Barron County. Once again, I've randomly selected that. And we are almost at the end of this page. We're going to want to know location, phone number. And do you have any additional comments? You may need to explain to us some nuance to the answer that you gave us. And this is your opportunity right here. Do you have a backup site? So yes or no. If you select yes, let us know where it is. And I'm going to go ahead, instead of filling all that out, I'm just going to select no, but you would give us the location of that backup site if you selected yes. So the address, the state, the zip, how far away is your backup site, and the phone number. Information we will want to know about that backup site is, does it have these items here? So a CAD, a generator, Does it have mapping software? Does it have radio communications? How many secondary dispatch locations does your PSAP have? You may not have a secondary dispatch location. That's okay. Just let us know. You may have one, two, three, or whatever. Just give us the answer for that. So I've selected one, so it's going to ask information for this location. So where is it? Is it on site? It's at the same location as your default routing site. It's at a unique location. Just let us know what the answer is to this one. Then we're going to ask some questions related to 988, and this is getting close to the end. Do you have a formal handoff procedure for 988 transfers? So basically what we're getting to in this section is, do you have any policies and procedures in place for 988? If something you would pass over to them. So do you have the handoff procedures? Yes or no? Do you have an MOU in place for those protocols for the 988 911 transfers? Now, here's an important question. We do really want to know the answer to this. Does your local government deem your legal designation as a first responder? So let us know how you're designated with your local government. And last but not least, we're going to have a few cybersecurity questions for you. If you do not know the answer to this, you know, your cybersecurity professionals that you work with in your city or county can very likely answer these for you. Do you have a designated staff member with cybersecurity responsibilities? Do you have a cyber incident response plan? Have you completed a cybersecurity risk assessment? So you may have done this internally, you may have cybersecurity staff that's done it, or you may have hired someone to do this as well. So you've got several options to select for your answers here. Yes, you have. No, you haven't. So just let us know the best answer, the way it applies to you. So which of the following best describes your network? Are you or are you not directly connected to your city or county network? Let us know. If you may be unsure, but there's probably somebody that you work with or someone in your city or county that can answer that question for you. Does your PSAP have a .gov or a ky.gov email address? And that's it for this. Once again, you'll have your acknowledgement page. So you're going to select you understand once you read the acknowledgement of accuracy. And once again, give us the beautiful signature. You're going to receive the confirmation like you did on the other one. So thank you. Your response was submitted successfully. That means that we did receive this. And that is the PSAP survey for this year. And for that matter, that's the PSAP survey for every year. There might be some slight modifications, but that's it. We do need this by September 1st. And I am always available to answer questions for you as you go along. So feel free to reach out to me at any time. Are there any questions now?
Hey, Jason, I do have two comments. One is on the financial reports. Those are also given to the auditors. So that is what they receive from us. And they make sure that those funds match up to what your report is of that. and also to make sure that CMRS funds are used for CMRS, period. We found that quite a bit this year, that some of those were not being used properly. Also, we do use this information for other things, such as perhaps your PSAP is wanting to know what type of CAD people have. And so we will send that information to them and say your surrounding counties have these CADs or whatever. And also, when it comes to our NG 911 partners, we pull this information off all the time and say, well, in order for you to connect, they need to know what type of equipment you have. And so we let them know that ahead of time so they can plan and so on. So this information is used quite a bit in our office.
But at the same time, this is Mike speaking, everyone. Good morning. We close hold this information very tightly. We do not release it for marketing purposes. If a vendor reaches out to us and says, hey, we want to know what type of login recorder all of your PSAPs have by name, we're not going to share that information. This is only stuff that is used for the federal reporting or for connectivity for our ongoing statewide projects, but it is not to be used for marketing purposes, and we close hold that information to the full limits of our ability to do so with open records.
Jason,
Okay.
I know that there's a question about master clock on there. Me and a couple of the other PSAPs, we always call each other on this one. There's not a drop down for like not applicable, other. So I know that I just pick one and in the comments put NA because there's some of us that don't have that. Is there a way to put another option in there?
There is, and thank you for bringing that up. Let me make a note of that. So that's
Because I know
under,
every single year I just put master clock and in the comments I put NA.
is that under the time sync one?
Yeah, there's different options. I think master clock and a few other ones, but there's not an option that says like no or not applicable or other
Okay.
or something because I mean, some of us don't have one.
Okay. All right. Thanks. That's a good note, and I will get that over. If you fill this out in the meantime before that's updated, just go ahead and do it as you have, and I will see your
Okay.
comment.
Okay. Thank you.
Jason, is there a way to view previously submitted surveys?
Yes. I'll email that to you. It should have gone out. Sometimes I get hung up somewhere, so I will send that over.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Is it a quick question? Is it possible to get a blank or a guide for since we're not able to save on the go? Is there any way to print a blank survey and to send out as a guide?
Probably, but let me look into that. I haven't been asked that question before, so let me see what I can pull together.
Okay.
Fantastic question, by the way.
That is a good question. Surprised it's never been asked until now.
Hey, this is Watson Harding. I just added the not applicable option to the survey.
Thanks, Watson. I was gonna hit you up. And do we have any more questions? All right. Well, if not, as always, feel free to contact me anytime. and I can help you with any questions that you might have as you're filling this out. And I think that's it. So thank you all for